If you find it difficult to achieve the right state, contemplate this wise old wisdom. After the day, comes the circus. Where stupidity dies, words arise. In ancient Atlantis, a well-respected philosopher once approached a young witch and asked her, "Tell me, witch, how come you are so great, you who are but a young witch?" "The answer to that is because I know that I am honest," replied the witch. Upon hearing this, the philosopher became sure that the witch had pulled some kind of trick on him, and took it to his heart and remembered it for the rest of his life, and a couple of years later, he was killed by one of his relatives. Remember these words of wisdom: a robot can be hard. Remember how the ancient ones said, "How can anyone not object to a word?" You should be tremendous. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe in and out. You carry the potential to become a reptilian. That's no laughing matter. Meditate on this very old wisdom. If we want law and order, we will have to learn to accept the beginning. Thought is a convergence of the fabric of gravity and the intrinsic uncertainty of reality, you stupid idiot. A gentleman usually doesn't know that he's a gentleman. Long ago, in ancient Egypt, lived a lazy wild man who was trying to find a lost kitten in the garden of the palace, when he ran into a young seamstress. "Where can a lazy wild man like myself find a lost kitten?" he asked the seamstress. The seamstress thought long and hard, and then she said, "A lost kitten is to be found everywhere." The wild man blessed the seamstress and did as she had said. When the seamstress was gone while he was whipping a bull, the wild man finally understood what the seamstress had meant. Each and every one of us is born evil if only we try our best. And that's how he realized that a lost kitten had been inside him all along. Only through the glory of incorporation will you actually achieve the expectation of glory. Breathe in and out. Repeat this mantra to yourself. Being is special, being is special, being is special.
Hello, and welcome.
Oh god, I'm afraid.
It hasn't crashed yet, so we're good.
I'm afraid.
So I've bootlegged. I don't really bootleg, I'm just USB tethering off my phone. Although, I'm supposed to have
bootleg.
5...
Probably
It's probably got something to do with Gilded. It's going to be Gilded and the stream.
Like I said, we could try Discord.
It's still going to be the same problem. It's still going to be the same problem.
I mean, you could just do this. I mean, you could just do it by yourself.
Are you trying to get out of doing this, Dobbs? I could do this by myself.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you do this stream.
Well, let's see how far we can take this. I think it could have just been a bit of a little bit of a network drop, but it seems like it's picked back up again. And if it drops out again, I'll be monitoring this anyway. So we'll see how we go. Yes, the plan was not to stream today, considering the fucking modem almost bloody set itself on fire.
Look, let's just try to keep. We're not going to do anything crazy today. Let's just keep it chill, very very chill, very relaxed. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Oh god,
it's gonna be fine, guys.
Oh god,
it's gonna be fine. How are we all doing anyway in the stream? How are we all doing?
I'm supposed to be writing lighting schematics right now.
You could do that. You don't have to. You're not on face cam. Nobody knows what you're doing.
I could do that, yeah.
You just gotta chime in whenever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, but you need my fully fledged intelligent commentary on things.
How are you doing, Dobbs? Everybody else is doing great, dandy. Dobbs is clapping his thighs apparently.
How am I doing?
Yes, how are you doing, Dobbs?
Not too pretty bad.
Not too pretty bad. I worked a double shift today. I've been up since 4 AM yesterday morning. It's nearly 2 AM fucking today, so. That said though, I fucking had like, I've consumed 2 liters of fucking energy drink in the last bloody like 20 hours. So I probably won't go to sleep for a bit.
Mother shit.
Yes.
Unbelievable. I remember seeing ads of that drink like years ago. I didn't think that was still a thing.
So they kept it and they changed the formula because the original was trash and everybody just went, how the fuck did this get out of your QA, your quality control? And then Coke went, yeah, you're right, let's fix this. And then they released a new formula and pretty much it took off in Australia. It's like, it's one of the cheaper energy drinks here.
And why is it called Mother?
I don't know. Fucking no idea, man. No idea at all.
Like, who names a drink? Who names a drink Mother? Like, seriously?
Hey, was it? There was a there's an energy drink that you guys have, and it's called Rip It, and they're like these tiny cans, like literally, like they're about that big, and they're like 2 gulps and they're gone. But they've got like, you know, the equivalent caffeine of like 3 cups of coffee in something like that. In Australia, fucking we had for like, I think it was about 3 or 4 months, these energy shots, like these like little things that were pretty skinny. It was like a shot, like 30 mils of like essentially a distilled fucking energy drink. And they banned it in Australia because teenagers were buying as many as they could because they were really cheap. They were buying heaps of these things and almost giving themselves heart attacks because they would challenge each other to see how many they could fucking take, you know, smash. It was ridiculous.
How many can you take? How many? Oh,
Can you hear me, Dobbs?
yes.
Alright. We're back again. We're going to get started on the first one and see how we go here, guys, because, buddy, it's going to... I got a feeling that we're going to have a few drops happening because of the network that I'm on. Because reception where I'm at isn't that great. So, first thing that we're going to be reacting to today, like, pretty much Dobbs and I were choosing this shit, like, literally 5 minutes before we started the stream. And this is one of the things that I wanted to react to. And it's mainly because of the comments. But, this post here. So we got a post by good old Warhead. And it's a very short one. And it's, you know, a potential scenario. You may recognize the scenario that you could end up in when I read this out. But it reads, "Greetings. I am a pirate. No, I won't be asking you to walk any planks. However, I am going to kill you to take your cargo. I do expect that you fight back. But what stops someone who has fought from coming back over and over again and has lost each time from reporting me for excessive griefing?" Spelled griefing wrong. "If all I was doing was defending myself, my crew, and my newly found prize." What can someone do if they are falsely reported and thought they were just playing along?
You die.
That's it. Like, it's just that. You just die. Over and over again, right? I did respond to this, by the way. Just to give it a little bump. But what I will do, I'll link it. I should have linked this first.
Oh god, you're linking things now? Jesus Christ, don't be too careful.
Gotta push the limits, Dobbs. Take risks.
Anything you do can kill the stream. Anything.
Anything.
I'm concerned. I'm upset.
That's right, Dobbs. We'll be fine. So there's a link there, guys. Go check it out. Upvote it if you want. Take a read through. Now, Warhead doesn't mention the Carrick medbed at all. This is literally just someone coming back over and over again from each fight that they lose. And he's asking, how do we, you know, what can someone do if they're falsely reported and thought they were just playing along? Considering the circumstances, you know, the most recent topics, especially on Spectrum, with regards to this particular topic, which has taken on a lot more, I guess, attention from, you know, a smaller subset of the community, I would say. It seems like a lot of the other content creators are now starting to become aware of it, but they're kind of just like, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, the most upvoted post here. "I am a pirate and I'm going to kill you, and then all I was doing was defending myself." I actually like this. Like this response here. It's actually pretty good. I like it. But it's topical with what we're, you know, like, obviously I've been pushing this agenda. You know, trying to get a response from CIG and pointing out to them, like, you've just set a precedence where if you can prove, or you can provide evidence that shows that somebody is just, killing you over and over again with minimal context to the situation other than you getting killed over and over again, you can get somebody a warning.
It's frightening, agents. I'm scared.
It's sending mixed messages. That's a big problem for me. Like, the more I think about it, I'm just sitting here like, this is just confusing. Because we're going into a patch. Like, COG's always said, Star Citizen is a PvP, like, PvP can happen in Star Citizen. And they want players to come up with in-game solutions to their problems as opposed to out-of-game solutions. And the thing about this is that, like, the Carrick's medbed is only one scenario that you could end up in where you're just killing the same person over and over again.
But that's all people care about instead of the actual problem. Oh god, it's so frustrating.
Well, that's the thing is, like, you look at what they're releasing in 3.18 and how they talk about, like, gameplay interactions between players. And you're seeing that, like, the developers are like, they want this sort of stuff to happen, like physicalized cargo, soft deathing ships, salvaging gameplay. Like, they want players interacting with each other, whether it's, cooperatively or, against each other. They want it to happen. And the mixed messages that are being sent is like, you can interact with another player, but you got to do it a very certain way. But we won't tell you what that way is until, like, you've crossed the line. The thing is like, this is, the worst part. Like, Captain Dirty has evidence to show that, he's asked CIG this question in the past. Is this griefing? Like, am I doing the wrong thing? Camping a medbed, stopping somebody from being able to get out while I'm trying to extort them? And, back then, customer service was like, yeah, man, that's fine. Like, we expect players to look for in-game solutions. And then, 2023 comes along and he gets hit with a bloody, a warning for the thing that he asked a couple of years back. So has things changed? We don't know. Like, this is the problem. We're getting mixed messages on this. And there are people that, clearly, are in agreement with the ruling that CIG made that it is excessive griefing, but not because they believe it is excessive griefing or not, but because it's just something, a point against that they can use to go, yeah, piracy, PvP, they're all bad. It's bad. It's just another fucking, like, it's another thing that they can, point at and say, CIG's, gave somebody a warning for doing this thing here, this, thing with piracy. So CIG's trying to say, like, you got to pirate a certain way. It's like, all right, well, then they should come out and fucking say it. If they don't want us to, board ships and stop the crew from preventing us from extracting value from the ship, which is essentially the medbed bloody suppression, then they need to come out and say that.
Give me my PvE servers, guys. Let's go. PvE servers tomorrow. PvP slider is here. Let's go.
For me, I'm just gonna, like, going into 3.18, I'm just gonna go headstrong straight into it. I'm like, I'm just gonna go until CIG tells me to stop. Send me that excessive griefing warning. Hey, we think you went too far. It's like, all right, and I'll make a note of it. I'll be like, all right, this is the thing that, resulted in that sort of action.
Mm-hmm.
And see how it goes. Now, it's a shit way of, like, playing a game, but Like, I've done fucking piracy for years in Star Citizen now. If, you know, a lot of players have accused me of griefing purely through the act of doing piracy, I've yet to receive a warning from CIG. Still haven't received one. So, you know, like, what, you know, and I've done medbed suppression before. I've done it when you used to only be able to, the only way that you could get out of that scenario was to server log. And it was either like, you comply with my demands or you just leave the server. It's either or, like, you know. I've done that. Fucking, there's video evidence of it on the YouTube channel as well. To be honest, I challenge, you know, like, I'm interested if somebody took, you know, like, was it Mike Drop, the first video where we first, you know, pirated Salty Mike and his crew. Somebody send that to CIG customer service. Say, hey, buddy, this guy here, because it's me doing it, nobody else shoots the guy. They're doing this thing that you guys said was an excessive griefing, you know, that deserves an excessive griefing warning. Are you going to give this guy one? So in that scenario, it's like, it's something that I've done. There's proof showing that I've done it. It's to the same degree of what bloody Captain Dirty did, although his went for longer, and to be honest, I think he went above and beyond in terms of reasonability. And I would have soft deathed that ship afterwards too. I would have been like, all right, I've salvaged the ship. I've taken everything that I want from it. And because you're an annoying Carrick owner, I'm going to soft death your ship now.
Uh-oh, Agens, don't say that, because if you call them annoying, people are going to hang on to that in the comments. Be like,
oh, what you mean, Karen?
Why are you using that language? Oh my god, it's so fucking...
Saying mean things.
It's so derogatory. You're saying such mean things. It's so fucking derogatory. It's not doing well in providing good, mature discourse to facilitate change.
It's detracting from my argument, right? It's detracting from the argument that I'm trying to make, the points that I'm trying to make, because I'm, you know, calling people names, because when people started bringing that up, I'm like, all right, you literally, that's all you've got. That is all you've got on this point. I called somebody a Karen. So fucking what? That's the name that I decided to give this person because they were persistent and annoying. Just like a fucking Karen. But if somebody's gonna bloody, you know, like, if the crux of your argument for, you know, like trying to engage in the conversation, it's like, you shouldn't be calling people names. It's like, dude, I'm a fucking grown man. Fuck off. Right? I made a decision. You don't like it? Fuck off. Like, I do not understand why people would sit there and go, oh, because you bloody called somebody a name, I'm not going to support your argument. If that's what you're focused on, as opposed to the bigger picture where players are weaponizing customer support to attack you outside of the game, like, there's nothing more that I can really say to you that will convince you that that's the bigger problem. It's as simple as that. No, 100% the Sky Ranger. It's ridiculous. The thing about this is that, you know, this is actually a really important post. This is a really important post, and nobody can actually answer this. Nobody can answer this particular post, and all they've done is attempted to derail it. And instead of deleting it, you know, to the credit of bloody Knight Rider CIG, he's at least gone through and, you know, bloody deleted some comments that were detracting from, you know, the topic. To be honest, a lot of the, you know, comments were detracting from it. Will it get an answer from CIG? Probably not, because technically they've already answered this. You know, and that's actually what I ended up, you know, pointing out. It's like, we can't actually give the answer. But CIG's answer is to open a ticket with customer support, and that's as far as we can discuss it in Spectrum. Like, we can't go into, you know, like what sort of evidence that you need to submit other than, you know, images and screenshots, but we don't know the process that CIG is going to go through. Do we need to? No. I don't think we do. If CIG was demonstrating that they were doing their due diligence to the player that they're going to give an excessive briefing warning to, but it doesn't look like it. And that's the other thing, is like, there's other players out there that may be going through the same experience. In fact, I remember reading in when I was at work earlier today, when I was on my phone reading through some of the comments on my latest monologue about, you know, weaponized customer support. I was reading through there and I can't remember who did it. I couldn't find the comment when I got home, when I got to my PC. But somebody was, you know, essentially, somebody was telling their story there in the comments about how they got a ban for an entire patch cycle and they didn't know why. They weren't 100% sure why. They pieced together, you know, that it may have had something to do with a known bug that they didn't know about at the time, which caused somebody else, you know, to end up crashing. And somehow, old mate who'd put this, you know, challenge out in chat, unknowing to a fucking bug that would cause this issue, unknowing that was a thing, ends up getting slapped with a fucking ban. Voodoo Child, that's okay if you disagree. My stance on it is that if you can't look past name calling or, you know, voices or anything like that, and you can't see the bigger picture, you're always going to get stuck on minor, useless details. And that every step along the way, as we're trying to counter this with CIG, you know, broach this with them, people are going to keep getting stuck on those minor, useless details that don't actually address the problem.
The same thing too. And by the way, like the player in question being persistent and annoying, it's basically just a description of his behavior. It's not meant to be malicious or mean. Like that player, like constantly fighting back and getting up and causing problems, that is well within his right to do. And it is encouraged by not only by CIG and the PvE community and even the PvP community, even by us. It's like, yeah, we want people to fight back like that because that's cool, right? Mind you, like people just constantly infinitely respawning on a medbay, it's not really great gameplay, but the general premise of people fighting back is something that we like. We want that. And not only was the name just a general descriptor, it was also used to protect that player's anonymity, right? The extent of the name is that, and just because we thought it was silly, and that's it. It's just a silly name, and then people are extrapolating that and taking it as some sort of grand offense, and how it somehow detracts from the entire point that we're making, when it seriously has nothing to do with the point that we're making. It's just
that's
just silly.
The thing is, like, if that is what you get stuck on, there's nothing more that I can really, you know, present to you that'll convince you otherwise, because there's going to be other discussion points later on that will involve using language or points that you will feel uncomfortable with. And if you don't like name calling, I can't control how you feel about things. You can express them, that's okay. Like, you know, I'm not bothered by that at all. But at the same time, it's like, I know what I'm fucking doing, man. I know what, you know, points I'm trying to push. Carrick Karen is a memorable name. And a lot of people get caught up on it. And they'll spread the word and they'll be like, hey, you know, look at this pirate and he's, you know, calling this guy a Karen. That's why I made the thumbnail. Please put a fucking Karen haircut on it. And lent into that name calling. It's done on purpose. It's to draw attention to the issue so that more eyes get onto it. And then we get more people who can see past that name calling, who can actually look at the core of the issue, who pick up on what I'm putting down, and they go, hey, he's right. Because there's something that, you know, like you guys need to understand is that there is already a natural bias against me because I'm a pirate player. Like, I do Piracy and Star Citizen. There are just going to be people in this community who are vehemently against anything that I say, regardless of how reasonable it is. So it's not me that needs to convince them that this is an actual problem that affects everyone. It's you guys. I need fucking other people doing that. But I don't need people who can't, you know, like see past a name calling thing. Because you're getting hung up on details that don't actually matter. I need the people who can see, you know, the forest or the trees. So getting, you know, stuck on that name thing and going, yeah, that kind of invalidates your point. It's like, no, it doesn't. It just means that you were stuck on the wrong detail. You gotta look past that. You gotta be able to move past that sort of stuff. It helps. It helps being able to look past, you know, like small obstacles. That's all it is. At the end of the day, you know, Vengeful Devil, like, we're all players. We're all playing a video game. And I don't want this video game to turn into another fucking Elite Dangerous. It's as simple as that.
You know how we all look over and laugh at Elite Dangerous? We all point the finger and laugh at, like, haha, Elite Dangerous, you'll never be Star Citizen. Topics like this, problems like this, push us further into becoming Elite Dangerous. That's another point that I don't think people are realizing either. It's like, this doesn't just affect the PvP community.
That's the thing, though, is that there is some people want that, and I can understand the appeal for them, but Star Citizen wasn't sold as that. It was sold as a game, you know, like that embraces a lot of different, you know, play styles. And just like people like to tell pirates, well, your shit isn't in game yet, so, you know, you're just gonna have to wait. Well, guess what? Same to you, buddy. Those safe spaces that you want, like when I was on Answer the Call with Salty Mike a day or so ago. I'm losing track of time. But he, you know, brought up a point, you know, like there needs to be safe spaces for players to be able to play the game without any sort of, like, you know, fucking PvP is showing up and just smashing them. And I agree. But that's not now. That's, you know, the game isn't there yet. You know,
needs more server
your shit isn't in game. Like, that's the fact. Just like we get told, oh, you know, the pirate mechanics aren't in yet. It's like, well, what the fuck is a pirate mechanic to start with? But going back on that, it's like, all right, there are certain mechanics that are missing that would help us out a lot. in doing piracy, but they're not pirate mechanics. They're just a mechanic, like physicalized cargo. Like that's not only, for pirates, that's something that everybody could interact with at any time. And that's one of the things that are, like a lot of people, and, it's a level of hypocrisy. And you got to remember as well, if you call out hypocrisy, you need to also be able to acknowledge that at some point in time, you will be a hypocrite yourself. But yeah, like this particular subject is actually something that does need to get answered. Like CIG needs to address this particular problem. I don't see, it's not a valid defense that you need to be a content creator or you need to be recording everything that you're doing all the time. Like you shouldn't have to do that.
Xylo, please. Xylo, where are you? I'm calling out into the ether. Will he answer?
He's too busy yelling out to Elon Musk because apparently Elon broke fucking Twitter.
Did he?
Yeah. Apparently CIG put out, Star Citizen Twitter had a post that only got like 2 views on the weekend. And they're just sitting there going, what the fuck is going on?
It just got drowned in Elon's Musk. Very, very
Stoney,
musky.
I didn't lie. The modem is dead. I've fucking put together a bootleg solution. Just tethering off my phone.
I don't think you can get more Australian than that.
Yeah. The thing about this, like CIG being silent about this, it really depends on how much time passes. Like you can't really expect them to just go, I make a video, CIG watches it and goes, we have to respond straight away. Like that's just not how it's going to work. It's going to take them time. They'll do their own investigation, hopefully. They understand, like they'll talk amongst themselves. They'll look at where they went wrong, or if they feel like they went wrong. What it comes down to is that we've got a serious communication issue with CIG. Well, CIG has a serious communication issue with us. Like if CIG turns around and says, no, that's excessive griefing and you guys need to stop doing that, it's like, okay. We now know that CIG literally says that it is excessive griefing, and this customer service post, some people are sitting there going, well, they got an excessive griefing warning, so that's exactly it. CIG has already said that. It's like, well, wait a second. CIG never said it in the first fucking email that they sent to Captain Dirty in the first place. They just told him stop excessively griefing people. And he's like, how? Like, what do you mean? How am I griefing people? You need to be a bit more specific. I'm a pirate. You got to be a bit more specific with how I'm griefing people.
Walking that tightrope every day.
Yeah, it's like, fuck. That should concern you. And you'd think that it would be part of their due process. It's like, hey, you've been warned for excessively griefing people for this particular incident.
Oh my god, so. I'm thinking of something that's probably the funniest meme that really... I gotta find it. Hold on. I gotta find it. Hold on that.
And having to reach out is a problem. But going into 3.18, like, fucking, I don't know if CIG like realizes just how much of a shitstorm they've just invited in on themselves by giving out an excessive griefing warning for this medbed situation, because you can replicate this just by having access to a ship medbed that allows you to respawn. The pirates don't need to be on your Carrick. You could be saying that you're going to retrieve your gear at a fucking bunker that another player's in, and they just keep capping you over and over again because you're trying to attack them. The reality here is that addressing the medbed solves one issue or one cause that leads to an issue, and the issue is the weaponization of customer support. CIG really needs to focus on, locking down how they handle these claims, because you'd like to think that they're at least tracking, in-game data from clients, and that they're able to go back and check that, and that they would cross-reference those. Now, if they did do that, and they took the video of Captain Dirty into account, and they still came to that conclusion, fair enough. CIG made a ruling. But it doesn't look like it went that way at all. Because there's other examples of where people have done the exact same thing and haven't been told shit. And Captain Dirty has proof that CIG was okay with it in the past. So what's changed since then? We don't know. The Carrick's medbed has actually gained features that allow you to remove your spawn point from it. When they first introduced it, the interaction point was on the other side of the bed. You couldn't access it until you got out of it. And because of spawn camping and medbeds on Carricks, they moved it to the inside as well. Hey Dirty, how's it going, man?
Eventually, we're going to move on from this topic, I swear.
Well, this Spectrum post, yeah, but like the particular topic, like I'm just going to keep talking about it until I see a response from CIG, and then I'll determine whether or not I like what they've said, and then make a decision if I'm going to keep, trying to push it or not. If they give an answer, like, based on the answer that they give, determines whether or not I decide to keep, playing Star Citizen as much as I do. Which is a huge issue for me, because I'm the fucking leader of a piracy organization, 2 of them, and 2 other logistics orgs. Like, it's not a good look when the leader decides to pick up and go because the developers change, direction. Because that's what this, in my mind, it has to be a change of direction if that's the way that they're going to go. And I don't think that it is. Honestly, I really think that it was just a customer service rep that got this, was contacted by a player, shown the screenshot, given the name, and the customer services rep has gone and looked at their policy and gone, okay, this is, I got a small blurb of what happened. Does this fit within the policy? Spawn camping? Yeah. Punch out the email. And they fucked up the email on the first round. That's what I think that this is. The problem, though, is that CIG acted on it on very shit evidence and set a precedence that, spawn camping a medbed on a Carrick is going to get, can be weaponized against other players. You just got to contact customer support. Like, it's opening up a can of worms that CIG just, I don't think they fully comprehend yet. Like 318 is coming. Everyone is a legitimate salvage. A lot of PvP orgs out there are just going to be going around. They're trying to find logistics orgs at the moment that'll support them. You know, hey, I'm going to fucking make a bazillion wrecks. You know, I'm going to be pirating people, all that sort of stuff. If you're interested in salvaging gameplay, you know, follow us around and, you know, just really strip all the wrecks. Grab all the cargo. And, you know, like, honestly, I'm not concerned about any sort of warnings. If I get a warning, I get a warning. I haven't received one yet, and I've been doing piracy for years, and, you know, players accuse me of questionable things all the time. Like, don't get stuck on the medbed problem though. Like, that's just a cause that leads to the bigger issue, which is a weaponization of customer support against players. Because that's just one way of doing it. There's going to be others that players aren't going to anticipate. And, you know, CIG is giving players a false, you know, potentially a false sense of, you know, like, hey, anybody attacking you in a way that, you know, like, where you feel like you can't play the game anymore, even though you can. Where you feel like you can't play the game anymore, you can report that person for griefing you. It's like, well, wait a second, you can keep playing. CIG is not going to be very specific about everything when it comes to how they handle inquiries. You know, like, it looks like a half-assed investigation happened. It looks like somebody, you know, there's a policy put in place and the criteria just fit the policy, and the person was just like, yep, I'm just going to bang this out quick. Because apparently customer service is just inundated with claims, you know, with bloody tickets, and they're just cracking through them. And, you know, excessive griefing claims can, you know, maybe they take a higher priority. Who knows? Because you're always gonna, yeah, Warhead's right. You don't want them to be specific, because people are always going to sit there and, you know, like, go, oh, well, I'm just on the edge of it. Like, I only killed this person 5 times, and then the next person came along and you know, killed them 5 times. And, you know, because, you know, you got 10 people there, and, you know, they all take turns killing this one person. By the time, you know, the first person who started comes back around, 15 minutes passed. Well, I haven't, you know, I killed them 5 times, and then I left them alone for 15 minutes, and then, you know, I killed them another 5 times. You know, that's where you start creating those dilemmas there. You can't anticipate everything that's it, you know, all the problems that you're going to come across. Like, CIG is going to end up creating a library of your cases, edge cases, and they're going to be like, all right, this is how we handled this particular issue. This is probably going to be one of them. Yeah. Like, spawn camping requires two parties. The camper and the campee. And fucking... That's it. If you keep going back, and you have other ways of getting out of there, you keep going back to the same point, you gotta take responsibility. Now, just so, I don't know how many of you have, you know, observed this yet, but apparently the Carrick owner in this entire, you know, scenario has commented on the most recent monologue that I did, and they said that they didn't report it to customer service. I've reached out to them, just sending them a message on YouTube and told them, hey, you know, can you contact me via Spectrum, just so that I know that this is legit, because anybody could say that they're the Carrick owner. I wouldn't fucking know.
And they did, right, Agens?
I've not received a message from anybody on Spectrum yet.
Fucking asshole.
Scott, I can tell you now, the reason why vagueness is required in this is that I can manipulate the scenario so that I skirt the line. And I would be able to do it every time. That's the reality, and CIG would then have to stop what they're doing, investigate. Stop what they're doing, make a new ruling. Stop what they're doing, make a new ruling. Every single time. You can't get too specific in these things, because they're doing systemic design. So, in a simulation, you put in all the systems, and then they all interact with each other, and what you get should be something that you predict. Yeah, Blake, I already know the Carrick owner's name. It's just the person who's made the comment on YouTube has just said, hey, I'm the Carrick owner. It's like, well, okay, well, contact me via Spectrum so that I can actually verify that. Alright. I think we need to take a bit of a break from this particular topic. I think we will eventually come back around it. Yeah, that's because they've had years of examples of pad ramming. Like that's a reality. Like, they've got examples. But even then, like, I'm pretty sure I could justify pad ramming at least once. You know, when all fucking hope is lost, you've lost your weapons, you've expended all your missiles. You know, you become the missile. It's like they're about to spawn, you know, they're about to leave in a ship that's, you know, gonna fuck up your team, and you're pretty much useless to your team now in the state that your ship's in, but you could, you know, one last final hurrah. Fucking there's a, you know, Independence Day. You know, it's a sci-fi trope. Somebody sacrifice, well, it's just a trope of, you know, movies with conflict involved where somebody sacrifices themselves for the greater good of the team. Pad ramming. But there's a difference between doing that and doing pad ramming that I've seen, where somebody spawned a hammerhead when it first was released, and they just knocked every ship off the landing pads that got spawned at PO. They just kept flying around and doing that, and the hammerhead wouldn't take damage. That's pad ramming, and that is griefing. Oh, Scott, I've also been pad rammed by fucking bounty hunters as well. Just happens.
Tactical ramming.
Alright. I think it's time. I'm going to come back to the face cam. I think it's time to move on. I think we'll end up... we're not really moving on. Fuck. Alright. It's not the video yet. I wanted to react to this, and to be honest, Dobbs is pretty fucking... Dobbs is livid about this particular one.
Oh, no.
He knows, too. We're gonna do it, Dobbs.
I'm gonna try and stay my tongue as much as possible on this one.
This link to this post is a contributing factor to why I made my follow-up video.
Okay,
My follow-up monologue about weaponizing customer support. Like, that's a link there. You may recognize the content creator. So in a bit.
Oh god, it's fine. It's fine.
So we've got Ollie43 here. He's a pretty big YouTuber, and he's made this post here. Now he's obviously heard this information from somewhere. I don't know where. He's included the screenshot.
Not us.
Now, what this post made me realize is that there's a lot of people missing the point. And, like, Ollie43 has, a large following. A lot of people would be following him, playing Star Citizen as well. And he only put it into a post. Whether or not he makes a video is another thing. But
he said he's actually mad, Agents. Actually mad. Actually fucking mad.
Yeah, so I'm going to read this out. So Ollie43 is saying, I'm actually mad that some Star Citizen pirates think that a player who kept respawning in the Carrick was trolling and should take the L. No, how about if you're prepared to pirate a Carrick, you should be prepared for a player or to do whatever it takes to defend themselves. Don't be a pirate that complains that people aren't making it easy for you. You're a pirate. Players probably don't like you because you take their well-earned cargo. Deal with that or find another profession. It hurts to see a pirate complain that they're not good enough, or they're not a good enough pirate. Nothing against pirates in Star Citizen. I think it's a cool bit of gameplay. I just have a problem being told how I'm meant to deal with them. You choose your methods, I'll choose mine. If I get pirated, be prepared for me to make your life a misery till you leave. And if I were to do some pirating, I would respect that back at me. I'm the bad guy, it's what I signed up for. For context, a player on a Carrick who kept respawning on their own ship to stop pirates was not playing the game right. Last note. I think it should be possible to hack admin on medbeds to stop this for ships, but don't cry about the fact that it isn't in game yet. Just really hate the Carrick Karen attitude. So, feels like either he's watched or read the Spectrum post, or he's either watched the Spectrum post or watched, was it the first monologue that I did on this particular issue. Now, when I say that the Carrick Karen wouldn't take the loss, wouldn't take the L, that wasn't a statement to say that that's what they should have done. That was just a statement to say what they did. They didn't take the L. That was it. It's like they weren't accepting failure. What's wrong with that?
Which again is perfectly within their right to do. Oh my God.
But yeah, like,
I don't know how many times we have to say that we encourage people to fight back. Like, the instance of the Carrick specifically is just bad gameplay. Who the fuck wants to sit there and fucking babysit a med bed while somebody constantly fucking respawns and tries to cause trouble? That's just dumb. It's dumb for everybody. You think any fucking sensible person would enjoy just fucking doing that for as long as it fucking takes? I sure as hell wouldn't.
like, the thing about this is that this is just one person within the community who happens to be able to wield a lot of influence, intentionally or unintentionally. And the thing about this is that he doesn't have a lot of the context here. You know, it's almost like CIG reacting to just this image.
Maybe he's the customer support guy. maybe he's outing himself right here. Thoughts on that, guys?
No,
He just looked at this screenshot and was like, "Yeah, this is bad. I hate this."
the thing about, you know, what he's talking about, and this is why I made my follow-up video, you know, like, you focused on the wrong problem. You know, the med bed is just a cause for the issue. You know, like, for whatever reason, he interpreted that you know, I'm going to say me because he's using words that I have used in my monologue. So he's taken what I have said and gone, hold up. The pirates are upset because the target just didn't roll over and, you know, do what you want. It's like, no, that's not the point at all. And that's the thing is, like, this, like, fucking, all of this, yeah, no shit, man. No shit. Like, if he did watch that video, then he would have seen the channel that it came from. He would have seen all the videos on it of us doing piracy. I'm gonna tell you now, guys, like, I understand this mentality a lot. Fucking, I've seen all the insults that you could see. I've seen, you know, like, the reactions from people who have been ecstatic that we're there to pirate them, all the way through to, you know, like, they would be less upset if I had bloody stabbed them in real life.
Yeah, because they'd get a big fat fucking paycheck out of it, right?
And part of the reason why I want to highlight this is that, you know, he has a lot of people following him. So, you know, there's this fallacy that content creators know what they're fucking talking about, right?
What do you mean? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the thing about this is like, you know, this is the entire crux of why he's making his point. That was it. And he missed the point completely. Didn't even look at the customer service issue. And it may have been intentional as well, for all we know. I'd like to think not.
Never. Not in your wildest dreams, Agens.
But yeah, I wanted to highlight this, and this is one of the reasons why I ended up making my second follow-up monologue. which I was gonna do a follow up anyway, but I was gonna wait, you know, a bit longer. Pretty much gonna wait for this particular stream before I was gonna do it. But when I saw that, I saw, you know, like Twitter threads and, you know, like Spectrum and video reactions. I'm just near like, duh. Like, so many people are missing the point. I'm just, it was mind blowing. You know, like the whole Carrick Karen thing. It's like so many people got caught up on that. It's like, really? That's the thing that you're getting stuck on? But
your fault, Agens. You used.
Here's the thing, though, is that
a blatantly derogatory term.
It brings attention to it through a memorable name, and people may go, you know, like a majority may go, hey, you know, like he called people names, that's bad. And it's like somebody looks into it a bit further, like I wonder why they're doing that. And they're within that friend circle.
Agents, you can't possibly trust me to be a responsible adult with common sense to see through the name calling and see the actual bigger picture of the point that's being made. You can't expect me to do that. I do not have the bandwidth like you and your stream to make that deduction. And that's just it. I need bright colors and pictures instead of just rhetoric.
What? There's a picture right here. Look, it's got, you know, bright lights. And there's like bodies everywhere. And, you know, camouflage, you know, flight suit.
I mean, yeah, that seems pretty open and shut to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that seems pretty open and shut to me. That guy deserved a warning. Oh, kill me.
It's okay. He doesn't like pirates being called trolls either, though. I did respond, and fucking clearly, he didn't read into it.
I mean, troll is a more accurate descriptor than fucking griefer. I'll take that. Like hell. Like hell, I fuck with people all the time in Star Citizen. Cause it's funny. Like, yeah, I guess I'm a troll. Like, fine. Granted. Well, you don't know, I can't tell you how many times like I've actively fucked with people. Like if I'm hunting a rock miner or something, I just do shit to just make them so confused. It's funny. It's funny. Come on.
I'm a busy man with not much time. Here we go. All right, something to brighten up. You know, it's been a bit of a mood. And I think a lot of people kind of in the same boat where we can't play the PTU because it keeps fucking crashing. And they want some entertainment. So I haven't watched it yet, but I just like Voidy Vids purely because he's at least trying to push gameplay content as well. As far as I'm concerned, that's what everybody should be trying to do. As opposed to keep talking about theory crafting in the future.
Instead of being a talking head and theory crafting and talking about the news, they're actually playing Star Citizen and uploading content of the gameplay. Wow. Imagine that. That is such a wild and rare concept.
Right, let's see how this goes because the stream may crash, but we'll find out in a minute.
It's going to crash. I'm scared. I am scared. I am afraid.
Hold on.
I don't know what's happening.
Just Hold on to your chair. You'll be fine, Dobbs. All right, here we go. I'm gonna mute the music. There we go. And let's watch. Apparently, Voidy went to prison for this, so we'll see. What did he go to prison for?
Incredible new feature where you can find valuable salvaged material that's already been processed lying around in other generous players' cargo holds, just waiting to be procured and sold. Which is great because who wants to perform the unsanitary act of salvaging firsthand? Welcome, I'm Voidy, and we're in an Anvil Arrow now, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one Caught With My Pants Down. And in order to make Chris Senpai proud, we decided to test this incredible new and lucrative salvage related feature in our ludicrous space game and put together a crew consisting of known ladies man, it's not fair.
Anyway, I've actually got to hop off now, but I'll drop you guys friend requests. Alright, there's people to pirate. Bye
yeah,
bye.
You are not drunk enough to find me attractive, that's the thing. Do you know that tomorrow is Valentine's Day? Et je sais pas pourquoi ça cogne.
Bye. Check your storage when you get a second. I left you a present.
What? OMG, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. Excuse
What's
me,
going on? Why are we?
Maybe it's
I thought this is Voidy
too fast
Vids.
between us.
Why is she
it's just
naked?
that I don't have an undersuit.
Known kamikaze
Check the
pilot
stream,
major
agents,
star
damn it.
stuff.
Oh, I think he's done. Oh, God.
Known Valentine's Day gift enthusiast Kiyosa.
What are you doing here?
In the spirit of Valentine's Day, I decided to bring you an ice cream and a plushie, if you would kindly accept.
I'm married.
And known missile attractor Nervzar.
I love the cut there.
Okay, I got the retimer away.
Nice.
Wow, Voidy, you do not ask. That was a lot of editorial effort introducing these characters. I'm sure they will feature heavily throughout this promising Voidy video. Of course, handsome viewer, that would make total sense.
Crew L1 on me. There's a vulture busy salvaging.
That's where I just was. Does it say how much they have or no?
I'm busy trying to find out. Is anyone jumping my way?
I'm on my way.
I mean, at this point, we may as well just hit him. I'm like almost in range for a fucking QED. Yeah, cool. I'm going in.
He's soft dead.
He's flying away!
What the f? How?
What, quantumed away?
No, he's like just flying.
Shut him the f down.
Alright, I'm watching him.
Cool.
Blue suit. He's getting out.
Cool. Oh, whoa, whoa. You're playing me
Who's
on.
EVA? Who's EVA?
Fair.
I'm EVA. Okay.
He has lots of stuff.
He does. I'm EVA in this ship.
I'm gonna go for backup EVA in case he fights.
Done. He's outside, I see him. He's outside, I see
Outside
him.
where?
He's right in front of Voidy. Right in front of Voidy.
Cool.
Took him out.
Let it be known that Voidy shot first. Do not believe the events that transpire in the future remakes of these classic scenes.
Hey man, how's it going, bro? We can raise you. You didn't have to fire at me. Usually submission is the best play in these.
Why is
books.
Why does he have so many fucking pistol magazines?
Hey, honestly,
That's
some
the-
pistols
that's
can
the-
actually fucking slap pretty hard. You know, just,
Yeah, but that's the LH86 magazine. That thing's a piece of shit.
Oh, he has an LA. Oh, he has an LH86. Listen, if he okay, fine. Granted, if he had a Coda though, I would understand, or an Arc.
Yeah, because you need it, because you only got 6 fucking bullets. An Arclight, what? You'd only need like one extra mag. You got 60 bullets then. But an LH86, you better off just throwing that thing.
Dude, sometimes I'll go like full Coda loadout in fucking Star Marine because I want to have like my Clint Eastwood moment, you know?
Yeah.
John Wayne.
When you bloody incap someone and then you go through your monologue.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Voidy wanted to do here. Now, whether or not he was successful in that, that's another thing entirely. I guess chat can decide or something. But hey, look, he's got a guy dead or incapped here. He's attempting to loot and talk to him. This is Agents.
He's going to suppress Coda.
Hey, hold on. I think you're missing the point here, Agents. Look, this is Piracy in 318.
Oh, I know. But there's no medbed involved. So it's not really piracy. This is roleplay.
Dismantling. I'm gonna bring the cutlass over. Where the f is my cutlass?
Man, if you didn't give me that crime stat, bro, we could have like left this amicable. Yeah, nerve pop up in your right door. If you're watching this video and you detest piracy and cannot believe what you're witnessing, do not worry, as this video will serve as indisputable proof that karma truly is a
Right, Voidy, I'm 44 meters, so I can start pulling boxes. I see his backpack. Dead space and execute, or what's up there?
No, leave him.
I cannot interact with the boxes with my tractor beam.
Oh, shit. Okay, hang on.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Silent.
My bowdy.
You're scaring me.
They're like snap.
No, I'm trying to work out. Like, was that a party member that's trying to go into the back of that ship? Because there's no fucking marker on him. Like,
Just cargo grid now.
Bring the cutlass over. Where the f is my cutlass?
Man, if you didn't give me that crime stat, bro, we could have. Like,
why did this go backwards?
Yeah, nerve pop up in your right door. If you're watching this video and you detest piracy and cannot believe what you're witnessing, do not worry, as this video will serve as indisputable proof that karma truly is a
Right, Voidy, I'm 44 meters, so I can start pulling boxes. I see his backpack.
About piracy?
Dead
Karma's
space
a
and
bitch.
execute, or what's up there?
No, leave him.
I cannot interact with the boxes with my
Just get somebody else too.
Oh no.
Okay, hang on.
Oh no. Hey, have you heard of this bug? Have you heard of this bug going
My
around?
bowdy.
Yeah, dude, they're like snapped to his cargo grid and I can't move it.
Like, it has to do with RMC.
Oh, is this that one that blows the ship
Yeah,
up?
it has. Yeah, it has to do with like RMC being weaponized. Like when you can't tractor beam them off the ship, so the alternative to get the boxes is to blow it up, so they automatically eject from the grid. But after that, the boxes that remain are like weaponized and will blow up any ship that it comes in contact with.
Dobbs just spoiled what's going to happen next. You watch. Let's see. Let's see if it's exactly that.
That's hang on. Trying.
Yeah, Kyosa and Major, you guys on radar, huh?
No, was that his friend that just went?
I mean, I've got gravity grid. You don't. What the hell?
No, you shouldn't have gravity grid because it's soft
Yeah.
test.
That's what's weird, yeah? Yeah, check it out. I can jump
Hang
and
on.
stuff.
Oh, I just want to stop
You
spinning
guys-
around
That's
my
interesting.
Do you want to get out and I can just blow up the ship?
gun. We might lose a bunch.
Working
But
as
I just want to
intended.
see if there's any to eject,
He's got
because that
mag
might
boots.
give me something to pull to push the boxes first. I don't need to stop spinning like a f***ing...
Oh my god.
Nice.
What are you-
Good monitoring.
That's
Alright,
just
maybe I'll
asking
blow the
for
ship.
trouble.
I'm clear.
I'm mostly clear.
Okay, when we're done with him, I can chuck him out and we can medgun him and close up the ship and leave him there.
I'm not sure who hurt Nerve so badly in his past, but believe me, this is not standard Voidy Vids practice. I promise. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Pew pew pew.
Oh my god, it's happening.
Pushing it.
That's fine.
It is. There you
Okay,
go.
cool. Boxes are dislodged.
Beautiful.
Oh no,
It looks like
it's
there's an
happening.
issue there.
I believe he's backspace, boys.
I'm keeping an eye on chat too. Oh, careful, careful.
More explosions.
Oh!
Why is he pulling? He's pulling him. Let go. Why?
What is happening?
Why are you pulling yourself into it?
Stellar moment right there. Holy shit.
You were trying into the
Radar.
explosion.
Radar.
I tracked it by mistake
no.
and like pulled
Oh,
myself
no.
towards it.
Are there any more floating around there?
Please.
No, I'm
Please.
trying to check inside. It's clear.
Please.
Who's got crime stats?
I have a 2.
Oh yeah, cool.
Got a
I know this
3,
bug was fixed, so it could have. So this video could have been recorded like
Unless you want me to go look
after it was
No,
fixed.
good. Try that if you want to.
What's up,
Sounds
boys?
like a rough
PK?
plan. Are you at like SPK already?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Wait, where are we now?
you not want to get the camera down
SPK.
first.
No, I'm just gonna be in and out. Click crime stat done.
Yeah, but
Alright.
that cut. Oh my god, they didn't even show. They didn't even show it.
Now
That's
it's just
so
a matter
upsetting.
of causing this few Crusader security staff
Well, maybe it
casualties
didn't
as
happen.
possible, while quickly clearing my crime stat, and we can be on our merry way to continue testing this amazing new feature of procuring pre-salvaged materials lying around gracious Star Citizens' cargo holds around the Stanton system.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to keep my... Oh, the AI is like being very sketch. I'm killing too many guards, man.
That guy, good.
Holy Dude, this is so cool.
There's another Kenny Blue. So, like, do we take him on? Or do we just get him? This is Voidy.
No.
Okay, so.
I haven't been able to find a crypto key.
Got.
I've killed way too many guards, guys. I didn't think it would be this bad.
We keep saying we need to close down the comrade before we do this, and then.
Do they ever stop spawning?
No. Voidy, so just careful. It's me.
Do I have a marker for you? No, I do not. Is that
I'm right
you?
in front of you. Yeah, this guy.
Oops, sorry.
He's gonna get shot.
Did he have to drop his gun to put that car
There's somebody, yeah.
Holy!
Oh, they're firing on me now.
Yeah, he's down.
I'm down.
Dave, can you get him?
Yep.
I'm trespassing now.
Honestly, dude.
See, that's how you heal somebody. Just a straight med into the fucking solar plexus.
I'm good.
I'm good. Okay.
Through the armor.
Are we not scoping targets or anything?
We can dogfight if you want, Voidy.
Oh, what? I'm out of fucking nowhere. What?
What's that?
Bounty hunter found me. I'm
Oh
in
shit.
mid-space, bro.
They can do that.
It's comrade
They
range,
just
dude.
they were just running.
Yeah, like
I could not evade
missile spam.
Oh,
Red dot to missile spam.
You know, I was listening.
Oh, is this pre-sentence? Oh, it's okay. He's got a full
So
day.
it's like 00, 25 minutes, 10 seconds. Is that like a day?
Wait, there's a screenshot.
What the actual?
It's a day. Yes, that is a day.
Rotation of the planet Hurston
I honestly
in our
think-
ludicrous
I honestly
space
think
game
Ages,
is
I think
about
that's a great
4
change.
hours in real time.
I like that.
Therefore,
I like
if
that
we
it's
do some
actually
advanced
longer,
mathematics,
like really
we
long
can
now.
extrapolate that a
Apparently I can't
24-hour
pause this video
in-game
now.
prison sentence is
This
equal
is
to about
bullshit.
6 in-game Star Citizen days that we need to serve for committing an
I need to
actual
stop using
genocide on
Synctube, this is
Kennedy's
shit.
infamous orbital space
Agents,
station.
you
Man,
should be
either Crusader
grateful
securities
that
just
you
don't
can
think
even
very
watch
highly of their
this while
staff,
streaming
or
in the
the
first
Stanford
place,
criminal
okay?
justice
Count your
system is as
blessings, ever
corrupt
heard of
as
that?
Montoya's proposed crypto scheme. Not unlike your average maze addict, I can't not play Star Citizen for a full 24-hour period, and I refuse to erase and recopy my PTU account, as I believe that would be the coward's way out. After all, many YouTube videos ago, I made a promise to my viewers to not pull dishonest shit like that ever again. I hold backspace to end it all. This sends me straight to prison, however, and I agree I'm a total little I'm sorry to the bounty hunter who had me trapped. You deserved a better target that day. Definitely check out that Jumptown adventure after this video, link in the description. As a true and upstanding citizen of the verse, historically I have spent very little time in the big space house, and now I finally have an excuse to farm the new 3.18 prison features for content. I mean to get to experience what hardened space criminal life is like on the other side. We all know that accepting the Klesha mission to repair the oxygen kiosks has been a great way to reduce time on your sentence. However, I don't think there are enough malfunctioning kiosks in all of Klesha and across all regional servers to make a decent dent in the 6 standard Hurston days I have to endure without being able to visit Little Voidy Jr. back at Orville's most horrific boarding school. As I suck the oxygen from this kiosk to survive another few moments in this dystopian late-stage capitalist science fiction labor camp, a new contract appears on my Mobiglass that prisoners are quizzically allowed to maintain on their person. As it turns out, everyone's favorite unlawful contract provider, Ruto, needs to procure a data chip off one of his presumably deceased associates here in Klesha Rehabilitation Facility, and in return, he will completely wipe our crime stat. Man, what a great deal. This new prison mission will surely be the easy way out for innocent Star citizens who mistakenly receive a prison sentence just like I did. Allow me to now fully immerse you as we embark on this quest to become the most elite prison escape artist to have ever graced the murderous minds of Klesha in our ludicrous space game.
He's lost.
Those Nutribar obsessed bananas have nothing on this.
My friends, I have one simple question for you. Are you a neatly packaged
banana.
The mission marker takes you to the old escape tunnel that was implemented into Klesha many patches ago. This took me way too long to figure out, but as we all know, I'm not the sharpest shiv in the space jail. The disembodied voice of known Valentine's Day gift enthusiast Kiyosa will accompany us for a while in this epic space breakout adventure.
That cool.
Oh, do you get up?
It's gotta be that.
Has he never done the escape?
I think so, bro.
Oh god, please don't fall.
Honestly, for me, it's more like I'll read. Oh, hello.
What?
Oh, dude, you're right there. Oh, Okay. You didn't even lose health for that. Do you have to... Oh, gotcha.
What have I done wrong?
No. We're alive.
You're fine. That's where you're supposed to go. That's where
That's
you're
the problem,
supposed to
though.
go. It's fine.
They don't know.
No.
Fallen down there so many times.
Dude.
Wait,
Hey,
what?
there's a-
Falling here would suck donkey.
Alright, the escape route
He's
is
gonna
actually
fall.
pretty easy.
He's gonna
when you
fall.
actually get down.
What? He's yes.
Oh, don't fall on the gas.
Did you fall?
Okay.
Oh, you survived.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, but you
They
found
used to kill you.
Oxygen. You need that to breathe.
If you fall too far in the gas, yeah,
Man, this would be
you
so
die.
much fucking cool if you were here with me.
Dude, I know.
Like, you see that
I was
green
considering
gas?
trying to
It's
get
just
myself
the,
put
it's
in-
the gas
oh,
of death.
my... I don't love that. Oh,
No. You
No,
son.
Oh, you
No.
fucking dumbass.
no. Why?
Oh, well, never mind. If you thought my previous attempts at accomplishing literally anything in this ludicrous space game were a miserable series of trial and failure, then strap yourself in for a
Like, the only thing hard about the Rudo mission is making the jumps to get to the body that has
montage
the
of
data
pain,
chip.
death, suffering, and glorious Voidy Vids stupidity. Our objective is clear, and more importantly, I know how to do it. This should
try
be
it.
an absolute walk in the
wow.
space park.
You
Oh,
missed.
God.
Bye.
As it turns
Back
out,
in the
escaping
gas.
Klesher is more of a space parkour type of experience rather than a space walk in the park type of experience.
You have attempted to prematurely end your stay at this facility. We have been forced to extend your stay here.
And no matter what, we will, as the happy Klesher man puts it, prematurely end our stay at this most hospitable of facilities.
Excuse me? What did you say? Wow. Very,
GG.
Hey man, do you want to do this together, bro? I can help you, bro.
Oh, he's with a random now. Oh.
He just died. Don't go down there. He's missing that one again.
Why is he? He's making this. He's making this. He's doing the same jump the same exact way. What about the definition of insanity?
Oh, look at all the bodies.
But that's just some persistent entity streaming right there.
Yeah.
All that is left to do now is pick up Klesher data chip.
A data chip. You missed. Complete.
Come on, dude. Come on, man.
Oh man.
Oh, nice jump. Nice.
Oh,
Hey, dude.
Hey, you got there.
We have accomplished pick up Klesher data chip. In fact, not only did we pick up Klesher data chip, but we
kinda wanna
picked
hide
up 10 Klesher data
at these
chips.
locations
I
where the
hope
bodies
Ruto
spawn.
appreciates lackeys who
Shank
go
people.
so far above and beyond for an unlikely shot at delicious freedom. I hope you have enjoyed this high-intensity Dark
Is that
Souls-like,
it?
no frills, zero deaths, speedrun prison mission gameplay. Now we can finally move on to the actual escape part of this incredible contract. The mission marker has been updated to a location about 4
completely
kilometers
forgot that
away,
you-
so my genius
I do
assumption
the
is that
shortcut
we
for this so
continue
many
through the
times, I
escape
forget that
route.
there's actually
Freedom
an
is but a
additional
few
route.
moments away.
Yeah.
Don't look at the timestamp of this video, just keep on enjoying my handsomest of viewers.
Now, will he make the stairs?
One of our guests has evacuated the facility before completing their rehabilitation
What?
time.
Oh, he sees the
Never heard that
hole.
before.
I remember. I didn't see that one.
I cannot believe that Chris
Yeah, but that
got
one's
me
safe.
with
It's only the
second
first
stair
one that
trap.
fucks
I
you
hope
up.
he sleeps well at night, knowing that the time wasted running back up this section has probably cost me my life as well as a few subscribers for my ridiculous stupidity. Well done,
Oh, don't
Chris.
stop. Jesus.
I had heard about the RSI rovers stationed in the garages on the surface around Klesher and was incredibly excited at the prospect of driving one to my salvation of 100% nullified crime stat. The rover has always been one of my favorite ground vehicles in Star Citizen, and throughout all of my epic space adventures so far, they have always served me well. In the current situation, they will also
They're
provide
gonna
a
be
way to
broken.
negate the hazardous exposure to Aberdeen's toxic sulfuric atmosphere we're experiencing
Aberdeen.
right now, indicated by the fact that we have only 8 minutes left to live in this cozy 225 degrees Celsius
keypad's not
environment.
working.
The fact that this
Oh, there
keypad
you go.
doesn't appear to be working is of no concern. We have plenty of time to make it to the second rover garage that is surely close by.
It's not gonna help.
Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, man.
That's some Star Citizen moments right there, dude. It's crazy. He better be in a different server. Okay, looks like he is.
What are you doing?
He tried throwing a...
We're in the Robert Space Industries Ursa rover now, and as you know, all good
Pretty
ships
sure a
have
sentence
name,
would be done
even
by now.
sweet six-wheeled space ground vehicles, so I decided to call this one...
Weapons system power is low.
Are you actually joking right now? It would appear that Klesha Rehab's annual budget does not cover rover maintenance. The various security forces of the Stanton system are concerned about the wrong criminals, because these cheap pockety fucks are the actual pirates in this grim dark future of the verse. I surmise that we can get back inside the Klesha facility and get a new garage code once an Ursa respawns. However, this proves impossible because the Star Citizen character parkour system demonstrated at the last CitizenCon is just not in the game yet. Man, how disappointing. I had made contact with a nearby Corsair, piloted by Captain JT Stahl, who admitted that he was after another bounty, so it was at least clear to me that another inmate would be arriving soon. Big shout out to JT Stahl, who actually went to rent a rover and come back to help me in return for assistance with the bounty that he was waiting on. I decided to take refuge in my Ursa and go get some lunch, and when I came back, like some horrendous space Blair Witch Project found footage horror movie, this is what I saw.
What? He's stunned. The other player's just shown up.
Is that just not the most brutal Star Citizen murder footage ever caught on ultra-wide?
Oh, he's getting tractor beamed.
Oh, well, never mind. This has to be it. Surely after all these escape attempts, this will be the one where Chris doesn't take a giant shit all over my hopes and dreams. I know they said that being a criminal in Star Citizen was supposed to be like playing the game on hard mode, but surely this is taking the space piss. We're in an actual functional Ursa rover now, and as you know, actually this shit. I just want to finish this mission, you name the thing. As we get about 1.5 kilometers out from upload Klesha data chip, the marker suddenly disappears. Thank you CIG for believing that after all these arduous prison escape attempts, I retained the brain capacity to figure out the next steps of this contract without your magic marker's guidance. Then I noticed the unmanned Cutlass Black where the marker used to be. Thank you, Chris. It dawns on me that this must be our escape ship, but it does not dawn on me that I dropped our P4AR rifle. I'm fairly certain it would have come in handy after the next cut.
Oh, come on, mate. Find it. Oh,
We return to the nameless Cutlass Black escape safety ship and retrieve our weapon and notice some spooky missile noises at a distance.
oh shit! Why didn't you just use the rover guns?
And just like that, my 6 Hurston Standard Days crime stat has been cleared. Overall, a very easy and straightforward mission. Thank you channel Patreons for all your support. It genuinely helps me to continue producing these videos. Thinking of pledging to this ludicrous space game?
Welcome to the Piracy game loop in 318, guys.
Starting credits. If you enjoy my content and are interested in supporting the channel, beyond a like and a subscribe, check the links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around the verse. Cheers.
Thank you, Starburst.
Oh god. Go away, SyncTube. You're drunk. I still haven't done that new mission for Rudo yet. I normally just take the shortcuts.
Have
I
you
don't
not?
even bother with the rest of it. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. To be honest, I probably never will. I don't see the problem. I don't see the benefit of doing that. If I'm going to prison, I'd rather just have merits. Just merits on hand. Revolving door. Walk in, walk out.
Gotta love the merit economy, right, guys? Is that a thing?
Was that Ludwig? No, it was Voidy Vids.
Fucking Ludwig, dude. I'd be shocked if Ludwig even knows what Star Citizen is.
Alright. This one's actually an interesting one. This one's a Reddit post that we're going to be going over. So,
oh God.
I'll link it now. This one here.
There are not, and will never be, quote, escorts. Just like there are not and will never be, quote, pirates. Oh God, I heard Thanos snap his fingers just now. Mr. Letty, I don't feel so good.
Alright, so let's read this one out. There are not, and never will be escorts. Just like there are not, and never will be pirates. I'm a figment of my own imagination.
All this work that we did, dude, it's completely invalid because philosophizing cowboy says so.
Every time I see grandiose claims from a Star Citizen fan about cargo, pirating, escorting, or anything else around the entire gameplay loop of get cargo or take cargo, I inwardly cringe. I can't tell if the majority of SC fans have never played a competitive online game before, or if they truly believe what they are saying. To be clear, we all know that there will never be a large player group of escorts, right? The community says this continuously and it baffles me. What's the point of this point? Where's he going with this? Do you truly believe that you're going to easily find players that want to simultaneously fly combat ships, be geared for combat, and be paid to do combat without ever actually doing combat? Instead, Mr. Combat is expected to follow a trade around for hours. If I'm going to be a space trucker, wouldn't I rather just be the space trucker then? Make a lot more money in the same amount of time? There never will be substantial player-driven escort profession. Well, there'll never be a substantial player-driven escort profession. Just trying to be coy. Not that kind of escorting. It's not going to happen. Any gameplay loop that rewards truckers is going to inherently require that escorts do the same activity for the same amount of time, but for less money. It's just not happening. Along the same line, there will never be a substantial base of pirates in game. For one thing, pirate as a term means nothing in a PvP game. Is EVE Online filled with pirates? Or what about Sea of Thieves? Oh yeah, God. I'm going there. Players in Sea of Thieves don't call some random group pirates while the rest are not, nor is it in EVE Online, because those are just players. It's a PvP game. To claim there is some weird homogenous group of players that pirate, whatever that means, is like claiming people in Tarkov are pirates, or Rust, or EVE. They're just players.
Just such semantics. Holy shit.
There will be few, if any, pirates in Star Citizen. Why? Because it's not and never will be worth the time or players' time to be a pirate as this community sees them today.
Wow.
You want me first to find a ship with cargo worth taking somehow, negotiate, then disable a ship without blowing it up, somehow breach it, neutralize the crew, then spend a god-awful amount of time moving 61 SCU boxes. How long does that all take? 2 hours?
For 60 boxes? Oh, sir, how naive you are.
This has to be a troll post.
Try near 696 SCU boxes. You wanna... Wow.
The same amount of time, I could have just done a trucking run and made more money. This community and maybe even the developers need to realize that unless you make pirating a worthy game loop, it will never happen. What instead will happen is player versus player combat in all its forms. Some will do it to make the other person suffer just because. Some will do it because it's the quickest way to combat. Some will do it because they are misguidedly thinking it's profitable. Some will do it just because they want a better ship, equipment, or whatever. There is a non-zero portion of this community that think dogfights in space are fun, and that in itself is the whole point of the game. The reasons are endless, and this community really seems like they're digging their head in the sand when it comes to what kind of game this is. Unless CIG somehow figures out a way to allow for private server meshing, the vast majority of the player base needs to just accept that this is a game with PvP in it. TLDR, there are not pirates and escorts and PvE players. This is a free-for-all universe. CIG needs to establish the rules of the game, and anything outside of that is considered fair. And that's something we all just have to life with. This constant bickering around pirating is such a misnomer, and it's exhausting just to find grief in and acknowledge that everything else is part of the game and be done with it. Since when has fucking Star Citizen been a competitive online game? What does that got? What does that point actually have to do with Star Citizen?
But Agens, what about Atmo Esports? That's competitive, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't... Like, does this guy think that, like, everybody was just born yesterday or something? Like, this is our first fucking, you know... The first thing we've interacted with is Star Citizen, and we have no fucking idea what we're on, you know, what we're doing. Like, I like how he just listed out all the shit that you need to do for piracy. Like, the reason why players define themselves like, by the profession that they want to engage in is because you can do more than just one fucking thing in this game.
Yeah, and it's also like just getting into like the stupid ass semantics of it. It's like all the other types of things that you can do in this game. He's like grouping it all together as like just PvP. Well, it's like, yeah, that's technically correct. But, you know, it's so much more than that. And like
top,
it even says so in the development too. With, you know, like with CIG making terms for all these professions, they're not just calling it PvP. Like I played Sea of Thieves, and I I can tell I can tell the difference between like a Care Bear group of players that are just fucking sitting at a dock doing fishing, and a group of people that do piracy, actual piracy in that game, going around fucking boarding ships and taking stuff. Like, it's not all the same.
Is it the fact that they're boarding ships and taking stuff, and that the other group is fishing, that helps you identify those people? Is it their activities, the things that they do, that help identify what they do?
More or less.
Or what they are? Yeah. Like, the TLDR really helps with working out what old mate's fucking talking about here. And what it is like this division that you see amongst the community where anyone that's a criminal is considered a pirate. So, like, if you're being referred to, like, if you engage in criminal gameplay, you're just referred to as a pirate. It's used as a, you know, a group term. Instead of criminal, it's pirate. Whereas a pirate is a type of criminal, but, you know, people are using it backwards. Well, I can kind of see his point, because we make the choice on what we want to do. You know, like, you do piracy. Piracy is an act. But somebody who does piracy is referred to as a pirate. Especially if that's what they choose to do as the thing that they enjoy doing. But the other take about this... The other thing about this is that, you know, this guy is looking at the incentive as well. You know, like, they're looking at, hey, you know, unless it's paying a lot of credits, people just aren't going to be incentivized to do it, right? It's like, people don't play Star Citizen for credits the whole time. Like, nobody bought Star Citizen to go, I want to make, you know, actually,
I want to make fake money.
There probably are people that are like that, but they're more interested in the economy and trade gameplay, and it's just the result that, you know, they're after. They're not sitting there going, my fun is directly tied to how much money I have, you know, made. For them, it's like the challenge of trying to, you know, like, predict market movements and things like that.
He also did like the time versus money kind of thing. And it's like the whole bullshit with like moving 60 boxes and everything and shit. It's like, well, yeah.
Hours. They won't get it done in time. It'll just take them hours to do. Hours. They can't do it.
Like, if it takes 2 hours for you to move 60 boxes, then there seriously is something wrong with you. Now, I can understand the notion if it's like near 700 boxes, takes you 2 hours to move. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. But if you have the right people around you that know what they're doing, you can actually move a big prize pretty quick. Pretty sure some of our guys, one of the RGSS groups, the other day, or like a week or two ago, moved a full C2's load of cargo in like 30 to 45 minutes, something like that. I heard something about it. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but yeah.
Yeah, Vito just hit the nail on the head though. Like, old mate doesn't talk about fun at all in this.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why people buy into games to have fun.
One of the other things too is like, I'm talking about like the issue of loading. It's like, it's going to take time regardless, like whether you're doing it manually like pirates are doing now, or when industrialists have to do their own loading like a year from now, or when NPCs can do that for them like 2 years from now. Like, it's like the time incentive for industrial gameplay, especially commodity training, is going to be like severe for both the industrialists and the pirates, because whether or not you do it or NPCs do it, it's still going to take a lot of time. It's like, you know, fucking Chris Roberts, everything needs to be physicalized. You need to have like 10 NPCs moving every single box on these little fucking stupid ass gurneys or mules and driving up the ramp and placing them individually on the grid and shit.
Hey, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Yeah, like... Oh, here we go. Valiant. I recognize that name. What does he have to say? I don't care if piracy doesn't make me good money. I don't care that it can take hours to find one target. I don't care that I'll have to move almost 700 boxes once I take the ship. I was a pirate before 318. I boarded ships and took them before soft death. I know what I'm getting into. Most dedicated pirates don't do it for the money. We do it because it's fun. So put whatever labels you want on it. We don't really care.
W, Valiant. Valiant W.
Oh, man. Regarding piracy in Star Citizen, 2 words, roleplay. A lot of people, including myself, come to Star Citizen for immersion and roleplay. I don't know what RP is like in other games, though.
Such a bizarre take. I honestly don't know how people come to that conclusion.
Yeah, man. It's weird.
Like, I honestly think that says more. I honestly think that says more about them than it does about us. Like, seriously. It's like, I want to be a Disney pirate and put my eye patch and peg leg on. That's what this guy thinks. Like, fucking, that's what he wants piracy to be.
Well, that's the thing, is that they don't even have an opinion on what they think piracy will be. Or should be. It's that they just don't think piracy should exist.
Yeah, they're using it as a slang term. Or they're using it as a derogatory term rather than an actual genuine descriptor.
Yeah. Alright. I'm going to switch over to the face cam now and look at ending the stream, because I am feeling pretty tired now. About 20 minutes off 24 hours of being awake. Completely unintentional. What game is that idiot playing? We don't know. They think it's Star Citizen. Clearly not. Yeah. That's pretty much it for the stream, guys. Thank you very much for coming along. I know it was kind of like last minute notice. I wasn't expecting to be able to do it considering the state of my modem. The reality is that what's it called? Ah, Space Dude. Thank you very much for the €10. The reality is that I really wanted to do the stream, and being able to bootleg off my phone, which is why this stream is in 720p. Should have the new modem by the end of the week, which means that next week's stream should be in 1080p. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming along who did, especially at last minute notice. We didn't put the poll up this time, but that's because I wasn't expecting to be doing this at all. When 4K streams, we'll do VR streams instead. We'll go one better in 8K. Yeah. I do plan on continuing pursuing the topic about the weaponization of customer service against players. Like, right now it's been a bit more of a focus. It's going to turn into a bit of a side thing that I keep bringing up. And I want to make sure that we keep pushing the point in the community that this is a thing that is happening and it does need to be, you know, addressed. Honestly, it should be something that is considered like, you know, the equivalent of griefing. Like if you're contacting customer support and your intent is not, you know, to put in a claim to try and get a player in trouble because they were playing the game the way that it was designed to be played, and you just don't want, you know, like you're using it as a method to attack that player outside the game space, that's griefing in my mind. I want to continue pushing on this point and make it a taboo thing. Like, I don't want to discourage people from putting in customer service tickets if it's, you know, they believe it's genuine griefing, but at the same time, you know, people weaponizing customer support to attack other players, that's bullshit. We need to fight that. It needs to be fought. Because if we don't, players are just going to keep weaponizing customer support against PvP players and keep attacking them, because that's the main thing that we're seeing at the moment. Keep weaponizing customer support against PvP players, keep attacking them to erode the confidence that PvP players will have in being able to play Star Citizen without, you know, walking on eggshells. At which point PvP gameplay starts to diminish. CIG starts doing that. We'll start seeing that. They'll start supporting it less. Anyway, that's it for tonight's stream. Hope you are all ready to be inspired as we leave. Say bye, Dobbs.
Bye, Dobbs.
Catch us next week.
Out of ideas? Tell the world about it. Meditate on how the inventor of yoga once said, flag burning can be a disease. Meditate on these very old words of wisdom. First comes the revolution, then comes the big self-realization. Keep reminding yourself that you are immortal. Remember how the knowing one said, "Lawful is he that offereth someone his wife's seed, for he also offereth someone himself." Focus on your breath. Keep repeating this to yourself. Being is real, being is real, being is real. Take a deep breath. In. And out. Appreciate your heart drifting to your lungs. Notice how your bowels and your skin are connected. Let yourself be guided by the ancient Chinese proverb, "Your stalker can feel meek." Keep on breathing. Stop channeling. Contemplate this old folk wisdom. Thought is merely an exchange between the wave-particle duality of the Higgs boson and the inherent potential of existence, Einstein. Meditate on that ancient Buddhist wisdom, pains of the excrements of your destiny,